it's Mo. It is January 2024, and I want to start a series on my channel where I go back each month and look at my book haul from 2022, because every month in the year of 2022, well, there's a caveat there, but we'll talk about it in a second. Every month in the year of 2022, I did a book haul, which is rare for me on my channel. I don't really do book hauls because I don't really like book hauls. I don't really like to watch book hauls, and I think that they sometimes encourage especially new booktubers to purchase things that they don't need to be purchasing, and the whole idea of like consumerism and the lack of sustainability in booktube as far as like purchasing books and having too many books and etc., etc. I say with my giant bookshelves behind me, you know. 2022 was the year that I started my RAB spreadsheet, and this is a sheet that I've been using every year since, where I catalog every single book that comes into my house. I mark where it came from, how much it costs, when I got it, if I read it, when I read it, if I read it, if I DNF'd it, if I unhauled it, if it was going on one of my collections, if it was going into my basement books, etc., etc. So alongside with doing basement book box hauls, where I bring up boxes from my basement of books that have been there forever. I have hundreds of books downstairs and go through them, try to cull them as much as possible, put some on my current TBR, unhaul most ideally, put some down in the basement. I also wanted to look at these book hauls that I did in 2022 and see how many of the books I have left to read. In the middle of 2023, I went back through my RAB spreadsheet and saw unread books from each month in 2022, and I made my end of year TBR. So I feel like I'll do that again this year, but I'll do it in this series, not my RAB spreadsheet check-in. I do, of course, have my RAB spreadsheet that has all that information on it as well, and I will pull that up at some point to look at throughout this video, but it's probably more for my information than your information. Does that make sense? That was a long way of saying we're going to look back at every book haul that I did in 2022, and we're going to see how many of the books that I read off of that, if I unhauled some, if I DNF some. And the first snag that we hit is that I thought I did a book haul every single month, including January for 2022, but apparently I did not. Apparently I started this in February, sort of, and I just started with birthday books that I got because my birthday is in February and I like to do like a book buying trip for my birthday. So we're going to start there. But I know that we have more than 12 book hauls to do because I know several months of the book hauls I split up into 2 book hauls. So we're going to start with February of 2022. Let's pull up the video. Luckily, I think because this was just my birthday books, there's not a ton of books to go over, which is kind of nice. Let me know if you like book haul revisits like this. I know that supposedly Greg at Supposedly Fun does these. I know that one of my favorite channels, Always Booked, does these now. So let me know if you enjoy watching videos like this, and let me know if you know of people who do these. Definitely post them down below because I really like to watch these. I would love to learn about more booktubers who do these videos. Since this was my birthday video, it talks a lot about why I don't buy new books and sustainable booktube. I will leave all the videos that I revisit listed down below, obviously, but it's worth checking this one out because it is on sustainability and all that good stuff. But let's just skip ahead to the book haul because we don't need to watch all of that right now. So the first book on this book haul, and I do remember getting this for my birthday and being really excited, is The Night Tiger by Yang Chu. I actually read a different Yang Chu first. I read The Ghost Bride in 2022, and then last year in 2023, I did read Night Tiger and I did really enjoy it. I also have my list of read, unread. We'll see if we need any more categories. It's interesting because I talk about how The Night Tiger is not my usual type of book, and it's not, because it's historical fiction and fantasy, or historical fiction with fantasy elements, I would really call it, but I love Yang Chu's writing now, and I'm definitely a stan. Okay, the next book is unread. It is The Innocence of Father Brown by J.K. Chesterton. This is the first of the Father Brown books, and it is a collection of short stories, and I think that that's the main reason that I haven't read this one yet, because I like wish it was a full novel. but that is unread. The next book is a NYRB edition, New York Review of Books edition, and that is To Each His Own by Leonardo Scaccazia. I love this book. It made my favorites of the year that I read it. I think that was 2022, and I really love this modern classic / crime novel from Sicily. Highly recommend. The next book is unread. It's Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. I was super excited to find this one too. I'd really been wanting it, and I know so many people love this book, which is kind of like Cli-Fi following a environmentalist and researcher who is seeking out the last migration of terns. I still have this one. I actually have Charlotte McConaughey's second book as well, which I think will come up in one of these videos, but I really should get to this one. If I were making a TBR out of these videos, I think I would definitely put Migrations on that TBR. So those were the books that I got at the Asbury Park Book Co-op for my birthday of 2022. 2 are unread and 2 are read. And then I also went to another local used bookstore. Let's see what books I have from that. So the first book is A Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. I did read this sci-fi / speculative book about siblings and the LA riots, and I did really enjoy that one. The next book is Bailey's Cafe by Gloria Naylor. I've only read one Gloria Naylor so far, and I've been trepidatious to read any other ones because The Women of Brewster Place like broke my brain a little bit. I still have nightmares about that book, so I have not read Bailey's Cafe, but it is still on my TBR shelf. It is something that I'd still like to get to. And the next book I can see right away is Sarah Widman's Tin Man. I have not read this one either. This is a queer friend lover's story. I have heard only good things about it. I love the edition I have. It has such a beautiful cover, but I have not read that yet. The next book we have is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. The Silent Companions was on my most anticipated list like since joining BookTube, and I did read The Silent Companions. I can't remember what year. I liked it okay. I think I like it more the further away that I get from it. I think when I first read it, it was a little bit, not disappointing, but not exactly what I had anticipated. And now that I've gotten a little bit further away from it, I really enjoyed this kind of creepy historical fiction thriller. The next book I have not read, it is Sleepless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick. This is another NYRB edition. I definitely treat myself during my birthday month to some NYRB books, which tend to be pricier even in the used market. This is like a stream of consciousness novel. I don't really know what it's about, except I think it's about like a mother dealing with sleepless nights. It is one that's on my NYRB shelf, and I still do really want to get to, but I have not gotten to yet. Oh, I said I was going to try and read it for NYRB April in 2022. That did not happen, but I did read quite a few books for NYRB April. I love NYRB April, so if you want to participate, definitely mark your calendars. The next book is another book that I have not read, and that is pushing us over the scales for unread to read. It is Love Medicine by Louise Erdrich. I was super excited to find this one, but I still have not read even a single Louise Erdrich yet, so I really do need to get to those. I think this one would also be on a TBR. So those were all the used books that I got at the Belmar used bookstore, and now I'm moving on to Little Free Libraries. The next book is How Do You Live by, I'm not sure the author's name, Genzaburo Yoshino? I know his last name is Yoshino. This is a young adult kind of cautionary tale or informative tale or educational tale that is a modern classic of Japanese literature, and I have not read this book. I've attempted to read it a couple of times, but I think that it is very much like an instruction manual for like how to act as a young Japanese boy, and it's been a little bit tough for me to get to. I do think there's probably some fun like life lessons in there that are worth looking at, and obviously just because it's a Japanese modern classic and a translated work, it's worth looking at. The next book is another one that I have not read yet. It is Begin Again, James Baldwin's American, It's Urgent Lessons for Our Own by Eddie S. Cloud Jr. This is one that I started reading last year in 2023. I got about a quarter of the way in. It's been on my DNF shelf. It was in a DNF video, but it is one that I actually want to read this January if I can. I do love to finish some DNFs in January, and this is one that I've had my eye on. I'm still super excited to read this one, super interested. I just have to be in the right headspace for this probably upsetting or at least angering nonfiction about what America should be like and what it is not like. And that is all the books on that book haul. So that was a total of 12 books for that book haul. And there were 4 read and 8 unread. So not a very good mix. For a priority list, I think I would put Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey and Love Medicine by Louise Erdrich. So interesting stats, interesting things. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I read here. Let me know if any of my unread books here you think I should prioritize, or if you agree with my prioritization system. Let me know how many books you usually haul for your birthday. Thanks for joining me for the first installment of this 2022 book haul revisit, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!